Now, there are a lot of factors to consider when it comes to finding ways to learn faster. To name a few, we're talking about diet, sleep, physical activity, and our daily habits. But we're going to simplify things a bit here by just simply focusing on probably the three most important things. One, your intentions when studying. Two, your approach when learning something procedurally. And three, your approach when learning something declaratively. Starting with number one, we need to set the right intention when we're studying. Similar to our mindset when we're about to go for our workout, to break a sweat, to get some pump and build our muscles, we need to have a similar mindset when we're about to study. We need to put genuine effort to learning something new to get smarter. And to continue using the same workout analogy, this is why you would oftentimes see people going to the gym several times a week for several months without making much progress, while you'll also see other people who would go the same amount each week but will have much better and faster results in a shorter period of time. This is similar in school. There's a lot of students going to school through several years up to college, and yet they're still reading and doing math at the grade school level. So that's it for point number one. Don't waste your time. Have the right mindset to put in the right work to get the results that you want. Now, for point number two, you need to have the right approach when learning something procedurally. Procedurally here really refers to anything that can be done in a step-by-step fashion that has little to no conceptual tie-ins. An example would be playing some sport like basketball, playing the piano, or sculpting. You're doing things procedurally with your body instead of your mind. And so if you're trying to learn something procedurally, for example, learning how to shoot better, one of the best things that you can do to really quicken your progress is to always keep your goal in mind and observe whether what you're doing is getting you closer or farther from your goal. So if every time you shoot the ball and you keep missing your shot, see if your form is correct, see if your hands are positioned correctly, feel if your follow through as you shoot the ball is good. Pretty much look into all the things that's involved as you execute that shot or movement and see if you notice something about how you move that doesn't feel and or look right. This is the point where you practice out or reprogram your old movements to make way for better, faster, and more accurate movements. And similar to what we talked about intentions, if your practice just involves repeating the same thing over and over instead of using it as a way to sharpen your movements, then you're essentially wasting your time. Keep your focus on what you're trying to do and shift your movement to get you closer to your goal. Keep doing this until things become second nature, and then you repeat the same process to further sharpen your movement. If you're already thinking that this is a bit too hard to do, you're right. But this can save you more than half the time you would usually use if you were to follow what other people are doing. Also, by the way, this is the same process that Olympic coaches and trainers use to prepare their athletes for competition. Anyway, now for point number three, you need to have the right approach when learning something declaratively. Declarative here refers to a concept, idea, or piece of information that you can hold or declare in your mind. For example, a ball has the shape of a circle. Metal is solid, or the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. It's essentially a piece of information you can hold or declare in your mind. So if you're trying to learn something declaratively, you're essentially trying to understand the new concept to eventually be able to hold the new concept in your head. And doing this is actually much easier compared to when learning something procedurally. What you essentially need to do is the following, because all concept, and I mean all concept, is composed of smaller bits of information. All you need to do is to first understand those little pieces of information and then piece them together to understand the new whole concept. And to more easily identify those little pieces of information, you can ask yourself, what about the new concept that I'm having trouble grasping? You can apply this approach to every new concept you encounter in your life. You'll eventually realize how effective the method is and later wonder why the hell weren't we taught this in school. Anyway, you can also use this method to identify if the concept you're trying to learn is too advanced. If you're having trouble understanding the smaller pieces of information within that new concept, then that's a sign that the concept is too advanced for you. And you should probably instead focus on understanding those smaller pieces of information before trying to combine everything to learn the new concept. And that's it for today's video. If you want to learn faster, start by having the right intention. If you're learning something procedurally, keep your goal in mind while monitoring how you would change your movement to get you closer to your goal. And if you're learning something declaratively, break the concept into smaller pieces of information. Understand those smaller pieces of information, and then combine everything to make sense of the new concept. As always, if you want to learn more about the science behind this video, I included the sources in a video description below. And make sure to subscribe to our channel to get more learning and startup tips. Thanks for watching.